Okay, today we're going to be talking about the definition of a derivative. So right here it says the derivative of f at x is f prime of x, this is how we write it, equals the limit as delta x approaches 0 of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. And this is provided that the limit does exist. So for all x for which this limit exists, f prime is a function of x. Now, we know that y equals x, this function, let's draw a graph really quick, which looks something like this. We know the slope of y equals x is 1. So, by using the definition of a derivative, we can prove this. So, you're going to always start off by writing the definition. So, the limit as delta x approaches 0 of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. Okay. Next, we're going to plug in our function. So the limit of delta x approaches 0 of x plus delta x minus our function x all over delta x. As we can see, x and negative x cancels, which leaves us delta x over x, which is 1. And lo and behold, the slope of y equals x is 1. Now let's take a look at some other problems, things that we might see on tests or quizzes. So, using the definition of a derivative, let's find the derivative of f of x equals 2x squared plus 3. Again, the first thing you're going to do is write down the definition. The limit as delta x approaches 0 of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. Our next step is substitution. The limit as delta x approaches 0 of 2 times, we're plugging in x plus delta x for x, so x plus delta x squared, parentheses are very important here, plus 3, minus our f of x, so I'm going to put brackets, which is this entire 2x squared plus 3. And this is all over delta x. Our next step is going to be to simplify, and in this case we're going to be doing some distributing. So this is 2 times x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x squared plus 3, hopefully not run out of room, minus 2x squared minus 3 all over delta x. Simplify some more. The limit as delta x approaches 0 of 2x squared plus 4x delta x plus 2 delta x squared plus 3 minus 2x squared minus 3 all over delta x. Now at this point, we see that positive 3 and negative 3 cancel, 2x squared and negative 2x squared cancel, and we're going to factor out a delta x so that it will cancel with the delta x on the bottom. So the limit as delta x approaches 0 of delta x times 4x plus 2 delta x over delta x. Alright, so our delta x cancels, and then we are left with 4x, because when I plug in delta x over here, this is just 0. So this is our answer, which is the slope of the tangent line of 2x squared plus 3. Now we're going to take a look at one more example, which is, what if we have a constant? So what if we have f of x equals 3? So if we visualize this on a graph, it is just a flat line with a slope of 0. So we're hoping that's what we're going to get. So let's try it with the definition. So the limit as delta x approaches 0 of, we're going to write the definition again. Where's f of x all over delta x? Okay, so here, the limit as delta x approaches 0 of, all we've got is 3 minus 3 over delta x. And that is 0 because 0 over any number is 0, and that is the slope of y equals 3. Hopefully, after this video, you know how to apply the definition of derivatives to find the derivative. Okay, that's it. Did you get it?
Oh, you done?
Yeah.